Now, so another. First of all, I hope you're all well and getting through this coronavirus. Carry on. Um, the weather's changed and everything. I'm up in my attic here, and there's a bit of you can see the rain on the skylight. So anyway, so we'll start. Um, so this is actually, I gather, this is an issue again. Put the pension back to 65. It's from the last election, and it's from Paul Murphy of Rise. Um, this is a unionist poster here from 1972. Faulkner treachery condemned. Not an inch Lynch. And Ulster is nobody's Czechoslovakia, which I gather is a reference to the Sudetenland and the German expansion there, that the people wouldn't be left behind should Ulster. Anyway, it's a really lovely poster. This is the Palestinian campaign to end corporal punishment against children. Life without violence is possible. It's from 1989. Joe Burke of the Progressive Democrats, who was running in Galway West, I think, or Galway East, should I say. Workers' Party from 1992 in, I think, Cavan Monaghan, Jimmy Finnegan. Joe Birmingham was a Labour TD for Kildare for many years, and this poster is, I assume, from 77, probably, judging by the colours. It might have been one of the three in the early 80s, but I think it's 77 or 81. But vote Labour. There's no slogan or anything on it. So slogans often make them easier to date. But you know, the funny thing is, if you've no slogan, you can reuse it really quickly. So this is from the presidential election in 1974, I think it was, and you have Erskine Childers, president for the nation. Another one, united in struggle against Israeli colonialism, occupation and racism, occupied Palestine, Syrian Golan Heights Advocacy Initiative. This is one of my Angolan posters. Don't know what it means, but siempre, I think it's freedom or something like that. But the cockerel is in a lot of countries you have the party symbol is beside where you vote. So the cockerel is this party, is Mr. Savimbi's thing. This is a poster for the Civil Rights Anniversary in Derry in 2008. Civil Rights March. So it's a mock of the original one. That was Bloody Sunday. This is a weird one. Trump and Putin. I picked this up outside the European Community offices on Mount Street. There was a protest by some Syrians, I think it was, and it was after I think, well, I can't remember exactly. I think the US withdrew their troops from the border of Turkey and Syria, which allowed Turkey to come in. Again, fairly current. The school strike for climate from last September. We're calling on people, teachers, university students, parents, workers, trade unions, everyone, support our children and take to the streets. Actually, I'll just turn a couple around here. So Brian Lenihan, the People's President, sempre always forever, and Savimbi was the leader of UNITA. Lovely. So Brian Lenihan, the People's President from the 1990 presidential election, and if you can see here, it's one of those wraparound posters that you would have just needed staples along here to put it up on the lamppost. So it was kind of a thing. So a poster for a H-Block commemoration in Bundoran. Interesting, you've Father Joe McVeigh speaking, as well as Councillor Liam McElhinney and Michael Flannery. And the late Eddie Fullerton was one of the guests as well. And various bands and stuff are listed, as well, of course, as the 10 Hunger Strikers. So it's a Portuguese poster for an LGBTI poster. Another Portuguese poster. Again, another one from Portugal. The Bloc de Esquerda, so Ecological Association, Queer, Anti-Racism, various protest a festival. This is from Porto. Every year there's a protest, and there's only one of. This is an original. There's only one of these. My Portuguese is appalling, so I don't know what it means. There's another one here, and you can see the mole. The mole, I think, gallery is used in Marx, but I'm not sure what it means again. But they're very nice. We can't wait. Separate church and state. Repeal the 8th. Repeal and pro-choice in May. Now is our day. Rosa. Sinn Féin, Moineen, Mná, I presume Trust Women, from the abortion referendum. Actually, funny, these are lovely posters, a couple of them, but they weren't put up, which was a pity. They were used at events. And Israel's new apartheid law meeting in Wynn's Hotel from the Ireland-Palestine Solidarity Campaign. Another UNITA one of Savimbi from Angola. Now I'll turn a few around here. This is to celebrate 100 years of Labour women in politics. So you've it's funny, you look at it, and I've actually a couple of those leaflets myself. It's a really nice poster. Of course, for the Vauxhall 100. Tommy Brune, when he was Labour. Decide your fate, repeal the 8th, your body, your life, your choice, from People Before Profit. In the late 80s, there was a big fuss around extradition, and Fianna Fáil, having been the Republican Party, and Charlie in opposition and everything, was very critical of extradition, and so this is Fianna Fáil, the extradition party, on a Union Jack, so it was, the complete insult to them. Trust Women, Vote Yes from Sinn Féin. Again, very nice poster. This is fairly battered. Would have been in a shed in Monaghan, I think, for years. It's from the European elections. Caoimhín McCoyle and Mary McGeehan and Eddie Fullerton. The late Eddie Fullerton. So at Bodenstown, 1993 Bodenstown commemoration from Republican Sinn Féin. Break the connection with England. This is the 1979 European elections in Dublin, and you have Rory Brua, Sheila De Valera, Michael Fox. I can't remember the Yates fella, but if you think of Brua, De Valera, and Yates, some lineup, some relations there. It's an all-star cast. Again, 1979. What's unusual here is the Fianna Fáil logo from the local elections. I'm told that the kind of backward FF signified the 77 with regard to the Civil War. So you had Chris Wood, Paddy James and Sean Walsh, both Flood and Walsh were TDs, later TDs. Walsh, of course, is the Sean Walsh Park, which is beside Tallaght Stadium, for those of you of Shamrock Rovers or whatever persuasion. This is a poster, NATO or neutrality. It's a public debate. The Irish Anti-Water Movement, Sinn Féin, Socialist Party, PANA and People for Profit. Various different people, Pádraig McLaughlin. So it would have been in 2014, I suppose. This is a poster for Gregory Campbell. Notice the DUP agreed unionist, so it was one of those elections which had a pact. United we stand, divided we fall. Young Gregory Campbell there. An anti-Maastricht poster from the Workers' Party. So vote no. Again, Maastricht, this amendment will put VAT on food. So you find from a lot of the European referendums that there's all sorts of claims about what they'll do. They'll put VAT on food, they'll bring, there'll be an EU army, there'll be various different things. Of course, not all of them come into play. Another Angolan poster commemorating the independence of Angola. It's a nice poster. Although there's a couple of nicer ones coming. There's two in particular. Public meeting with Mick Wallace when he was a TD on vulture funds, banker scams. I stand with her. These two, I think, were after the rugby trial. There were protests in Dublin, fairly instant, and these were produced I got them at the protests at the Spire. I stand with survivors and I stand with her. Build public housing from Rosa. Socialist feminism. Oh, this is just the poster for an exhibition I did in Newbridge last year as part of the June Fest. I was due to do it again this year, but again, these things, the coronavirus got in the way. This is just a poster from the Fianna Fáil. I do exhibitions of various parties, Ardèches and stuff, but this is one from the Fianna Fáil Ardèche where Eamon O'Queeve was running for the Lasú Dronach for vice president of the party. This is a Young Communist League poster from the UK, the Communist Party of Britain, equality, peace, dignity, jobs and justice. Young Communist League. History will not be rewritten. The future cannot be banished against anti-communism. So you have the hammer and the sickles and the handcuffs there. Another Europe is possible, another EU is not. Again, in communism, the Communist Party of the UK. I suppose it was around 2010, 2012, Greece got into big trouble, and there was a lot of sympathy in Ireland to the Greek situation, and so you ended up with the Oxy, which I think is Greek for no, or no to Troika tyranny. So there was various protests in solidarity with Greece. So I have a couple of these things. So every year there's a Bloody Sunday commemoration, and this is for the commemoration in 2007. Very nice. They're all beautifully designed. Cuts destroy communities, people before profits. That's from Derry, I think. You know, yes, equality, the marriage equality referendum. Again, Portuguese, the PCP, PEV. Basically, it's a communist environmentalists. It's a communist party front from Portugal. Join the Fianna Éireann if you'd like to join Fianna Éireann. Ufig Éireann nua. So young. The Irish anti-war movement stopped the war on Yemen and stop starving Yemen. Equality matters to everyone and for everyone. As for a Cork LGBT Awareness Week poster. This is hiding in here. Save Dina Ali. Michael Woods. The youth are the future, and the future is socialism. From the Young Communist League. So, this is for a poster for an anti-abortion rally in Liverpool in 1972. So you see Spoke, the Society for Protection of Unborn Children there. And the patrons of the rally, Archbishop Beck, Anglican bishops of Liverpool and Warrington, Rabbi S. Wolfe, the Reverend Or Kissack, Chairman of Liverpool Free Churches. So another one of the Bloody Sunday commemoration posters. So this is the 30th anniversary in 2002. One world, many struggles. Again, they're really nice posters. Hey, no, don't bomb Syria. Young Communist League. This country belongs to the workers. Get out and enjoy it. Young Communist League as well. An old unionist poster. The United Ulster Unionist Council. The big peace lie exposed. Reject the Council of Ireland and SDLP IRA rule. Signed the Save Ulster petition. So when Trump came in, there was awful pressure on. I don't know if it was awful pressure, but there were protests against the Taoiseach visiting Trump. And this is one of them. Cancel your annual St. Patrick's Day visit. Little did we know. Another Bloody Sunday one. Really, really nice. This time the 2008 commemoration. So the 1984 European elections, Des Geraghty running for the Workers' Party. So I think this is the Single European Act. Either that or Maastricht. For peace and neutrality, vote no to nuclear alliance. It's from the Peace and Neutrality Alliance. This is from the Scottish independence referendum. Scotland's future in Scotland's hands. Vote yes. Again, we have extradition in Fianna Fáil and wanted for treachery and extradition of political prisoners. You have Charlie there. Another Rosa, socialist feminism, Ni una menos. Another one, time to separate church and state. One of the protests. You can't have it both ways. Council of Ireland British Heritage, save Ulster, signed the position. Here's the Workers' Party TCD one. Do communists have better sex? Film screening. I don't know the answer to that. Keep the Poet, Michael D, an Irish legend from Labour Youth from the presidential election. Just another DUP one. Roy Gillespie, Hubert Nicol, Thomas Nicol, and Sandy Spence. You can't do better. It's actually a pretty corny slogan. Vote yes for fairer Ireland, marriage equality. Bobby Sands, 1954 to 1981. I refuse to change to suit the people who oppress, torture, and imprison me, who wish to dehumanize me. I have the spirit of freedom which cannot be quenched by even the most horrendous treatment. Of course, I can be murdered, but I remain what I am, a political prisoner of war. Another one from the time, The Great Escape. So, and it's as the lyrics of the song, 8 volunteers who had enough of time in British jail. We've been here for some years now. It's time for some bail and so on. So marriage equality pledge to vote. So these were put up in the weeks before thing. Dorman, McCann and Poots, the DUP. Alistair Hollis and South. You can do no better. DUP. This is. Let's move this one around. It's kind of the classic Ireland, the war continues image. It's a beautiful poster. Send a message to Stormont, cuts destroy communities from people before profit. Foster resign now. Somebody called Marion Bauer for East London Derry. She was running for the Socialist Environmental Alliance, which were an SWP front. Eamon McCann was probably the most famous person to run for them. So for the MPLA, lovely posters, just I suppose with all the Black Lives Matter, you see the clenched fists and stuff in the air there. It's a pretty cool poster. So another Bloody Sunday one. This time the 2005 commemoration. And this for the 40th anniversary of Bloody Sunday. Again, lovely, beautiful, simple design. Look at that, Radical Book Fair. Jesus, it's a bit late. Stop Trump from Left Unity in the UK. It's an emergency that the NHS. Teach, don't preach. Don't block the sex ed bill from people or not. I think it's the Socialist Party produced that. This is a protest in Trinity against unsafe and inappropriate accommodation. Free, safe, legal from the abortion rights campaign. It's an Ogre Fianna Fáil one. Future leaders. Trying to see if there's any. Certainly a few councillors there. Is there any? Don't know if there's any TDs there yet. I might be wrong, but anyway, it's again, what this, don't let them wipe away what the Citizens Assembly had to say. Merseyside Anti-Racist Alliance, Immigration Controls and State Racism, in 1978. There's a Michael D colouring in page, which was used that was available during the presidential election. It was popular. It's the first political colouring in thing I've seen. It's actually quite a thing. Make equality happen, Labour Youth. That's a local protest march up here. There was a road closed. Edmonstown Road was closed, and caused all sorts of problems. It's a menu from the Fine Gael Ard Fheis 1 year. Micheál McGrail, a Fine Gael councillor, I think, up in Roscommon. Sean Gallagher for president, shaping our future together. That's from the 2000 and years fly. Whenever the last presidential, it wasn't from the first one. It's a nice poster, and it's just a reproduction thing I put from the Irish News. The plastic bullet use soars. Now I'm just going to go over here. I have a couple of posters flattening. Oh, here's one of the ones. Sorry. It's just a home help carers and stuff thing. So these are just flattening at the moment. Let's see if it worked. So these are kind of two posters. They're kind of the same, from the German SDP in the early 70s. So Willy Brandt on one side, and a Dr. Vogel on the other. But it's just they're just lovely, simple posters. So I'm gonna move that, let that go up itself, and we have a lovely surprise underneath, hopefully. And we get to something from another beautiful one from Angola. Sorry, just now, finally, this book, O Povo, and it's from the NPLA in Angola. So, Sinead, mind yourselves, and thanks very much. Bye.